Hi guys, and welcome back here to the development. Today I want to share a tool that I'm working on to improve my workflow in Unreal Engine. So basically the problem that I'm having is that right now I am creating this building system where I can place items, I can place all sorts of things into the world. And I would like to create a documentation that's consistent to remind myself in a couple of years or in a couple of months from now how all these things are working. Right now, I could create a video and post a video, but sometimes I want to be assertive and quick. And that's why I want to show the tool that I'm working called Blueprint CodeX, which is basically not asset, but it's just a tool that runs on your PC, specifically to create Unreal Engine documentations. So in here, we have the settings. In this case, we can also add AI services, but I'm going to explain you how this works. So basically, I can open up a couple of examples here. And I have here, for example, on pages, ideas for my projects. So basically, this is just a normal documentation. But the main thing is that sometimes I want to go here to how the vendor works. And basically, I created in Unreal Engine style like a node. So basically, we add a simple how to create a node. This connects to this example image. So in here, I can see how I'm setting up the world. And here I can attach the assets. So I can go back here to the assets and drag and drop them here. This is linked to my Unreal Engine project. And then you know exactly how to create this flow. So it's a tool that's been helping me a lot, and I'm thinking to make this like a public access so everyone can use this on their own project. So today I just want to explain how this works for my building system. So for example, I'm going to do a very quick one so the video doesn't get too boring. But in here I have my building controller, right? And I want to explain what's the difference between the building on the pawn and in the controller. So I'm going to go back here to my Blueprint CodeX. I'm going to create here a new folder. And I'm going to call this the building system, right? And now what happened? I'm going to right click. I'm going to create a new page. How does the building work? And then basically I can add some documents in the main field here, but I prefer to add here on the canvas. And then what I can do here is I can go back to my Unreal Engine and I can search, for example, this component name. And the first thing we can explain, because I have no idea, if I come back here in a couple of weeks from now, I'm not going to know the difference between this one, which is the building system and controller, and the one on the pawn. As much as I try to put the best names, I always struggle to remember the name of those two, right? So what I'm going to do is add here, and then simply what I'm going to do, create a new text, and then in here what I can say is that, for example, I can double click here and I can say, so this component handles two main things. One is the save and loading system and the inputs, because on my game I can control any pawn. So for example, right now you can see that I haven't typed in the best way. There's spell checks and a lot of mistakes here, so I can just press AI, and I like to press this beautify. So basically what this is going to do is that using AI will basically contact ChatGPT and say, can you make this look nicer? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't add that much information, but now if I press OK, look at that. So these components handle two main things: save and load, and add input handling on the pawn, and basically just add a small version. And I can add this one right here. And now I can do the same for this. I can add here a text, and now I can say, this component handles the actual place and delete, rotate parts of the building system. And as you can see, I can also do again the same thing. AI, I can check the grammar, bullets, whatever. I can explain as well, and I can add this information right here. So now it's loading up, and I can apply. Now you're probably asking, okay, but this is very, you know, any system does this already. You can use like Notion or anything to do that. But there's one feature here as well that it's very nice that I added recently, which is basically I can add a blueprint within a blueprint. So I'll show you here. Sometimes I want to explain the user or for yourself how does the saving system work. So I can go back here to my Unreal Engine, and on this case, here's how the loading system works, right? So what I can do here is I copy the information, and I can go back to my blueprint and paste it right here. Press save, and there you go. Look at that. You have yourself a full Unreal Engine blueprint from your own application here. Just to remember you how all this thing works. And then what you can do, sometimes you can basically, for example, click on this blueprint. You can explain. And then what's going to do is that it's going to contact ChatGPT as well. And it's going to try to create a documentation explaining how this works. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes you add a bunch of non-useful stuff, but you always end up being more useful than is not. As you can see here, it created all the information. So I'm just gonna make it, so I'm gonna expand those. And I am gonna basically add this one right here, right? And that's it. So basically when you see custom event, then connects, and it basically just explains. So like the loading is better because it calls, it loads, it casts to whatever, it returns, if then blah blah blah, the variable uses nodes, and then you have those key events. So it give like some also it gives some tips as well sometimes, but I use this mainly to explain. Also here it recommends not to use cast, but I don't mind this that much. And that's all I wanted to show. Basically, I wanted to share with you guys. If this tool is something that you are interested in, let me know in the comments if you like to use this tool. I would like to make this available for other users as well, not just myself. And you know, always improve. Because I do love Unreal Engine, but I think sometimes creating the proper documentations for it, it's very challenging. And in here as well, you can go to the knowledge graph and you can see all the knowledge you have. So for example, you see like the gate, this BP job test is connected to this, that connected to that. So it creates like all these neural connections. So it's a cool thing, cool tool to have. Hope you guys enjoy, and I see you in the next one.